Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Supershow. We are just days away from virtual Grand Gathering. The original Grand Gathering is supposed to take place this weekend. Because it is a holiday weekend, they decided to move the in-person one to September. We're having a virtual one instead. Potentially up to 5 days of gaming. Thursday night will be the first event, the Boss Righty Beatdown. The rules are on the supershowthegame.com website, under events, under online events. It's going to be either bullet rounds or round robin style, and then a top cut. They have both on the description. World Division competitors and Underworld Division competitors are booked. All other singles competitors legal, subject to 2020 vision. You'll have to use a different entrance card each match in the preliminary rounds, and then if you make the top cut, a different entrance card each match in the top cut. Same thing with spectacles. 4 for the preliminary rounds, up to 4 for the top cut. They refresh once you transfer from the preliminary stages to the top cut. That's the Boss Righty Beatdown Thursday, May 22nd. Friday, May 23rd, the Supershow Cup. There's been a draft ongoing. You draft a competitor. All competitors, singles competitors, legal, subject to 2020 vision here. You'll play that on Friday. Expect stipulations in the top cut of this tournament. Expect them in the top cut of the Boss Righty Beatdown. Saturday, there's going to be a creative competitor tournament. The Hall of Fame list is booked. You cannot use a competitor that has been used to win a creative competitor tournament before. All other singles competitors legal, subject to 2020 vision. You can find the Hall of Fame list on srgpc.net. There will be stipulations in the top cut of this tournament. The pool quickly of possible stipulations: no disqualification, steel chain, steel cage, ring of fire, ladder, tables, and Liger's Den. That's the May 24th Saturday event. The Boss Righty Beatdown is $30. The Super Show Cup is $10. The Creative Competitor Tournament is $30. You could buy all three together in a bundle, $65. There will be 6 promo cards for the virtual Grand Gathering. I talked about those last week. They're new cards at the 22, 23, and 24 slots. You shuffle 2 cards from your discard pile into your deck. And if you have a certain skill that is greater than your opponent's certain skill, you will draw 3 cards. And the skills are different for each card in the line. That's what we know for sure. There should be a Monday night fight that may tie into this. There's been talk of a Sunday event for May 25th. There's been talk about a trios event, a tag team event. Nothing is set in stone. I'm disappointed that with essentially a week to go, we still don't know if there's going to be a Sunday event or what it is. I'm not happy with that. I feel like they should have that set up already. There are going to be a number of featured matches between now and the end of Virtual Grand Gathering. They are trying to get every single championship in the LFF defended. Here's what we know so far. There will be an LFF World Heavyweight Championship match. Candyman Dan will attempt to defend against the prize fighter Simon Dapper. There will be an LFF Underworld Championship match. Simple Chuck will attempt to defeat the champion Harvey Luster. There will be an LFF Tag Team Championship match. The championship tag team from the higher class of the Grump and Colby Cram will attempt to defend against the Real Beater tag team of TVA Commissioner Drew Matson and Mr. Pollywood. That is going to happen Saturday night. There's going to be an LFF Hardcore Championship match. Challenger the Goat Brock Smith versus champion the Italian Bambata. There's going to be a United States Championship match. Challenger Colby Cram will challenge champion Bob Dunn for that championship. There will be an LFF Trios Championship match. The Collector Sean Loeb will challenge champion Pretty Hair Piercer for that championship next Wednesday, May 21st. Wednesday night after Talk of the Universe. All these matches should be streamed on the SRG Universe Twitch channel. It's possible they may be on other channels, but that's the goal right now. There's going to be an LFF Veterans Championship match, a 6-player birdcage they're calling the Military Games, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. And there's also supposed to be an LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship match, Saturday night. Going from memory, the champion currently is Bob Dunn. I'm not sure who the challenger is. I apologize for not having those for you at the moment. Any other championships, things like maybe the LFF Intergalactic Championship, those are still being worked on. That's what we know about championship matches for sure for this week of Virtual Grand Gathering. There will be new products going up on supershowthegame.com for sale during this time. One of those will include a new ladder match deck. It should be a deck with a bunch of cards with ladder in the name in it. It should have a copy of the ladder crowd meter cards if you don't have those. I'm not sure what the competitor is going to be in it. I assume there will be a competitor. That's pretty much what I have right now concerning Virtual Grand Gathering. Chibi has also talked about hosting a number of pop-up bird cages throughout the weekend, so watch for those. That really is what I have right now new going into this week of Virtual Grand Gathering. Since I did just bring up briefly new products, I should also talk about this. SRG Universe has announced a brand new Kickstarter campaign for a major wrestling box set featuring Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers. That's Zack Ryder versus Kurt Hawkins from WWE. Those are their non-WWE wrestling names. The campaign is listed on Kickstarter as Supershow, the Major Wrestling Edition with Matt Cardona. The pre-launch page is available. You can click right now to be notified at launch. There are currently 126 people following the campaign. I searched Major Wrestling on Kickstarter's website. It came right up. It was the first listing. This isn't a surprise to me in general. They had spoiled that they were working on this box set, and I've reported on it on a past show. They had talked about doing another Kickstarter after the Supershow the Comic Issue 7 Kickstarter. I'm assuming this is that Kickstarter they were talking about. I can tell you I'm looking forward to this Kickstarter. I think this could be a big Kickstarter for Supershow the Game. The Major Wrestling Figure Podcast has a big following. This could help introduce a lot of those people into this game. Now, there is a bit of controversy I need to talk about with Kickstarter in general, not specifically with this campaign, but Kickstarter in general. Bob Dunn made some comments on a post from Steve Resk that maybe came from private things Bob Dunn had said being made public, being told to Steve Resk. He went on Candy Shop Talk Friday night to talk about it. So this is all public. Here are Bob Dunn's concerns. As of right now, Supershow the Game has 2 currently unfulfilled Kickstarter campaigns. There's the Super Lucha campaign that ended last year that has an estimated delivery date of July 2025, so in a couple of months from now. There was also, after that ended a little bit ago, the Supershow the Comic Issue 7 Kickstarter campaign. That has an estimated delivery date of September 2025, so 2 months after the estimated date of the Super Lucha fulfillment. The concerns that have been made are that this may not look good for the company, for the game, if there are 3 unfulfilled Kickstarters at the same time. If for some reason the major wrestling box set campaign launches, goes through, and closes before the Super Lucha product is delivered and before the Supershow the comic product is delivered, that would look bad. That would look like there's irresponsibility. It would just be negative for SRG Universe, negative for growing Supershow the Game, which is not what we want. I understand and I agree with these concerns. That is a concern. Now, there are a lot of unknowns. First off, we don't know if any of these campaigns are going to be delayed. That's the first concern. I know that originally the plan with Super Lucha was that Super Lucha would be delivered early enough to where it would be a focus of the Origins, and I'm guessing also Southern Fried Gaming Expo. It would be a focus of those conventions. Last I looked, which was yesterday as I'm recording this, on the Origins Game Fair event website, there are a lot of events listed that are Super Lucha events requiring you to use Super Lucha specific cards. If those events are going to be removed, they haven't been yet. If they're going to be updated, the updates have not filtered out to the website yet. If they've even been sent in, we don't know. As far as the delivery of the Super Lucha campaign product, the last thing we heard from SRG Universe was that they wanted the product before June, before Origins. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. It may. According to them, it might, but they did not feel comfortable advertising the product. They were going to make major advertising purchases, plans for Super Lucha, but they decided to not do that because they don't have the product in hand. We still could get the product in June. It might be July. It might be delayed. We really don't know what the status is. There has been no update on the status that I've seen for a while. The last post for an update on the Super Lucha campaign related to the Super Lucha campaign was made back in March. And that was essentially an update that they had received the samples, SRG Universe had received the samples of what the product would look like, and those samples were approved. As far as the printing and the shipping, nothing has been put out since then, other than they were hoping it would be early, and it does not appear that it will be early. At this point, for me, I am not ready to push the panic button, because nothing is late. Nothing is late. Now, if all of a sudden news starts rolling in that things are going to be late, there are going to be delays, that we don't know when product is going to be delivered, then I think it's time to start worrying. But right now, there's been nothing put out to make me doubt that the product is going to come in by the estimated delivery dates. Again, that could change, but we just don't have enough information. I do wish there had been a little more information forthcoming. SRG Universe, traditionally not the best with putting out information. That's just been the case. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. Hopefully, because of these posts, because of the most recent episode of Candy Shop Talk, we will get a statement from Steve Resk, from SRG Universe, about this. SRG Universe, Steve Resk, is currently at Geekway to the West in St. Louis, Missouri, at that convention. He's been there this weekend. Not really a lot of news other than they're just there. I don't know if they're getting great traffic or not. Hopefully they are. Hopefully they're helping to build some Super Show players out in St. Louis, Missouri. That's what I really have to say about the controversy. It's something I'll have to keep my eye on. It's something to be concerned about, but it might be a little too early to be too concerned. We'll have to see. I do think, though, if the major wrestling box set launches, closes, and we still have nothing from the previous two, it's time to be worried. But at this point, there's no reason to really let yourself get worried about it. We just don't know. We are assuming the worst. Everything could be fine. We might show up to Origins Game Fair and all the Super Lucha product is there. We just don't really know what's going on. As far as the campaign itself, though, I'm looking forward to the Major Wrestling box set Super Show campaign. Staying on the theme of controversy, there's been a new competitor. I don't know if the competitor's out or if they were just shown and it's coming out. I don't know if it's in mystery boxes. It's not currently available on supershowthegame.com last I looked. But there's a new competitor called Fey Dragon, whose gimmick is, and I'm paraphrasing here, the lowest turn roll wins the turn. So if the Fey Dragon player rolls 5, the opponent rolls 10, Fey Dragon wins because 5 is lower than 10. Simple enough. The controversy is come with tag team matches. Fey Dragon has been permanently booked by the LFF tag team general manager, Candy Ma'am, in tag team tournaments she's running. Tag team events she's running. This was a tough decision to make. I agree with the decision. I don't like the decision because I don't like a competitor coming out and immediately being booked in the format. The thing is, though, it's damaging to the format. The problem with Fey Dragon is not competitive. I think you could play Fey Dragon and players could work around it. The problem is that the format of tag team matches is tagging, is being able to use the double team ability. And Fey Dragon's gimmick takes away the double team ability for everybody in the tag team match. And this is a mechanic, double teaming, we want players to do. The biggest similarity I can draw is the booking of the universal dropkick line in grand battle matches. In grand battle matches, cards with over the top in the name are also finish cards. The universal dropkick line stops finishes, and if those finishes don't have competitor logos or skill requirements, they are also finish cards, and the crowd meter increases by 1. The reason that line is booked is because we want players to use cards with over the top in the name in grand battle matches. And allowing a card line like that disrupts what we want in the format. That's why it's booked here. Fey Dragon is going to be the same way. It disrupts what we want in the format. We want double teaming in the format. This takes away double teaming completely in the matches. That's why Fey Dragon is booked. Again, it's awful to have a new competitor come out and immediately be unplayable in a particular format. I just don't think it can be helped. I might as well stick on the subject of depressing news. The ECW wrestler Sabu recently passed away. As a result, the Cheetah, the general manager of the LFF Global Division, is going to be hosting a Sabu Memorial Global Tournament. Sabu has a competitor in Supershow the Game. It's in the Global Division. In this tournament, everybody can play Sabu. There will be no diversity for Sabu. If you don't want to play Sabu, you can play another Global Division competitor. You must play a Global Division competitor. Everyone can play Sabu if they want. If the winner of the tournament ends up being one of the Sabu players, that player will get an LFF Underworld Championship match. If the winner is not using Sabu, they'll get an LFF Global Championship match. This tournament will be a group stage tournament and then a top cut. If you want to sign up, reach out to Ian Chambers, let him know. You will have to submit a deck list. That deck list will be due May 26th. There will be group stages and then a top cut. Players will have 2 weeks after the deck list submission deadline to play their group stage matches. Once that's done, the players that make the top cut, each round of the top cut players will be given a week to play their matches. That's the Sabu Memorial Global Tournament. Keeping on that tournament theme, there's going to be the next Supershow Olympics, Supershow Olympics 2. The signups will start next week, Wednesday, May 21st. There are going to be 16 teams. Each team will have 6 players for a total of 96 players. This means 6 players per team. I'm not sure if that includes the captains. I believe it doesn't. I believe it'll be the captain and then 6 players. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. There will be a player draft where the 16 captains draft their team, and then there will later be a competitor draft where they draft the singles competitors for the team. Each round will have 3 different match types. The division match types, where, for example, the World Division competitor for one team will play the World Division competitor for the other. The Global for one will play the Global for other. The US for one will play the US for the other, so on and so forth. There will be draft position matches. So, for one team, the player drafted in the first round will play the other team's player, using a competitor that was drafted in the first round. It's the competitor draft order. Competitor draft in the round 2 for one team versus competitor draft in round 2 for the other, so on and so forth. Those matches will be in this, and then finally there will be a premier player match, which will have random stipulations. Those will be the match types in every round of the Supershow Olympics. Your 16 captains will be John Polverino, Commissioner Drew Madsen, Hold the Line Harry, the Cheetah, the Cannoli, Colin Simon, Candyman Dan, the Collector Sean Loeb, Brian Wait For It Schmidt, the Goat Brock Smith, Zach Ashley, Simple Chuck, Harvey Luster, the Starbreaker Trey Cantrell, General Lee Wong, and the Pineapple Champion Matt Nealon. They will be the ones drafting. The draft should take place about 2 weeks after signups go live, May 21st. One last thing before I get into the online tournaments and featured matches from this past week. There's been an announcement regarding the finals of the tag team tournament hosted by Candyman. I'm not sure which tournament this is. I know it's been going on for a long time. That finals match will take place during Candy Shop Talk, May 30th. The final 2 teams are King Trell and End of Time. King Trell, the Possum King, and the Starbreaker Trey Cantrell. I believe the End of Time is the End, John Mathis, and Colin the Chrononaut. I'm not 100% on that, but that makes sense to me. All right, let's go through these tournaments and featured matches starting Monday with Monday Night Fights. This was an Underworld Division tournament. World Division competitors booked. All other singles competitors legal, subject to 2020 vision. 10 players. Group stage is 2 groups. 5 players per group. Each player played the other 4 in the group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. In 4th place, we had Titan. In 3rd place, playing as the new version of Donation, the prize fighter Simon Dabner. The finalists were the Jokerfish as Caleb Conley and Ricky Riot as the Grand Pack version of Theo the Greek Neo in a special guest referee match with Sofa King as the special guest referee. The winner of Monday Night Fights, Ricky Riot. Congratulations to Ricky Riot for winning Monday Night Fights. Next week, the finals match will be a Ring of Fire match. That's the next finals match in Monday Night Fights coming up this Monday, May 19th. Thursday, we have Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. This was an open division tournament, all singles competitors legal, subject to 2020 vision. 16 players win the tournament, group stages. 4 groups, 4 players per group. Each player plays the other 3 in the group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. In the top cut, quarterfinal round, the stipulation was New York rules. In the semifinal round, the stipulation was Ring of Fire. In the finals match, the stipulation was special guest referee Prickles the Clown. In a special guest referee match, each player can use the gimmick of the competitor, that's the special guest referee, in addition to their own competitor's gimmick. For this competitor, the gimmick was, at the start of the match, choose one lead submission from your deck and put it into play. When you hit a submission, draw a card. That's what the finalists were facing in that match. Your semifinalists, Colby Cram playing as the new Colby W. Cram competitor, and Simple Chuck playing as Captain CJ Sparrow. The finalists using this special guest referee stipulation were Ricky Riot playing as the Grand Pack version of Theo the Greek Neo, and Zach Ashley playing as Professor Leonardo Maggette. This match only lasted a couple of turns. The winner at Crowd Meter 0, Zach Ashley. Congratulations to Zach Ashley for winning a quick finals match. Friday, we have a featured match on Candy Shop Talk, streamed on the Big Picture Premium Twitch channel. This match was for the Deep South Tag Team Championship. The challengers, the protectors of the light. Brimelight playing as Brimelight, Titan playing as Titan. The champions, Ironic. Rowdy Ron playing as Rowdy Ron, Nick Nimble playing as the Italian Bombata. Good back and forth match, ends up going no farther than Crowd Meter 0. The winners at Crowd Meter 0, still champions, Ironic. Congratulations to Ironic for a successful defense. Sunday, we have Sunday Night Fights. 2 matches on the match card for Sunday Night Fights. The opening match is an Underworld Championship qualifier match. I believe this is one of the matches involving people who are responsible for getting competitors promoted to the Underworld division. The winners of these matches get future shots at the LFF Underworld Championship. In this match, we have HR playing as Split, the original version of Split, versus Colby Cram playing as Chris Bay. Standard singles match. It goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, Colby Cram. Congratulations to Colby Cram. He will get a future shot at the LFF Underworld Championship. Strong performance from Colby Cram. I would say won the majority of turn rolls and was able to ride that to a victory. The second and final match of Sunday Night Fights was a defense of the Midwest Coast Championship. The challenger, the Flame Fighter, playing as the Flame Fighter. The champion, Matt Nealon, champion with El Super Hombre, the original version. This was a Psycho Circus match, so at the start of the match, players could choose the top 3 cards of their deck. They could search their decks and put 3 cards on top in whatever order they want. They had to shuffle the rest of the deck, but they got to choose the top 3 cards of their deck. And they could draw those as their starting hand, or they could draw the starting hand and then sort out the first 3 cards. Most players choose to essentially stack their starting hand. This match ends up going to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, still champion, Matt Nealon. Congratulations to Matt Nealon for a successful defense. This was a strange match. Matt Nealon, outside of his finishes, had no cards with Super in the name in his deck. As a reminder, Matt Nealon's gimmick in part is his cards with Super in the name have the added text, your opponent buries 2 cards in their hand. So no gimmick for the most part for El Super Hombre. El Super Hombre does have the gimmick that his third breakout roll is +2. But outside of that, no gimmick in the whole match. Flame Fighter played strong. The momentum was on his side for quite a lot of the match. His gimmick was doing a lot of damage. But Matt Nealon held on, won the match. Congratulations on a successful defense. The general manager for the Midwest Coast region, James Booker, is asking people if they are interested in getting a shot at the championship. Make a promo, post it on the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. Let him know you want a shot at the belt. Now, we have some news about Virtual Grand Gathering, some additional news. We have news on what the events will be for Sunday and Monday. Sunday, it's going to be a trios event. It will start sometime in the afternoon. More details to come. Those are the basic details. Monday night, it's going to be a tornado tag team event. 16 spots, no stipulations. This is Monday, May 26th, just to be clear. No stipulations. The following tag teams are booked: the Young Bucks, 5-Star Mayhem, Dangerous Alliance, and the Tornado Tag Team that is the current champion coming out of Virtual Grand Gathering. Those competitors are booked. All others legal. If 16 people sign up for the Tornado Tag Team event, the winner will be granted a spot in a match, and if he wins that match, he will become a challenger for the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship. So the winner of the Monday night fights of Virtual Grand Gathering weekend will get a contenders match for a shot at the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship. We have a number of scheduling updates for championship matches for Virtual Grand Gathering weekend. Before Talk of the Universe this Wednesday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern, there will be an LFF Old School Championship match. The champion, the Italian Bombata, playing as Chainsaw Jimmy, will take on challenger Titan, playing as the original version of Cactus Sack. Friday at 7 p.m., we'll have the LFF Hardcore Championship match between challenger, the Goat Brock Smith, and champion, the Italian Bombata. It will be a Psycho Circus match. Saturday night, in addition to the matches I mentioned earlier, we'll have the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship match. Challenger, the New York Phenom, will take on champion Bob Dunn. We will also Saturday night have the LFF World Heavyweight Championship match between challenger, the prize fighter Simon Dabner, and champion Candyman Dan. Sunday, we will have the LFF Underworld Championship match at 11 a.m. That'll be between challenger Simple Chuck and champion Harvey Luster. I also have an updated contender list for the Military Games Veterans Championship match, the Birdcage, happening Saturday morning. It will include champion Everett Stevens, Jared Bridge, Ed Galvao, Joseph, a.k.a. Ali McGregor, Gene Kenny, and a final unnamed opponent. They are still working on the final person in the Birdcage match. That's the final bit of news I have about the Virtual Grand Gathering. Steve Resk did comment on the post on the discussion group with the comments about the whole Kickstarter controversy with a new campaign launching when the previous campaigns have not been fulfilled. He made a couple of statements I'll point out. Number one, officially confirmed no delay in the delivery of the Super Lucha campaign. He actually mentioned that the company did pay a higher tariff-related price to make sure that the product will deliver by the estimated delivery date. So that should still come in by July of 2025. I'm very happy to have that confirmation out there. I think that should assuage any fears regarding this new Kickstarter campaign coming out. Hopefully that helps. I was concerned that, yes, if there were 3 Kickstarter campaigns outstanding, no delivery, that would be bad. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Very happy to hear that. I'm looking forward to more information about the Kickstarter coming out in the next days, weeks. Hopefully we get more between now and the time it just shows up. As far as things coming up for next week outside of Virtual Grand Gathering, I mentioned Monday Night Fights will have a stipulation in the finals match. It will be a Ring of Fire stipulation. Tuesday, they will have the dojo. The Mad Custodian will be the guest on the dojo. Wednesday, in addition to all the championship matches, we'll have Talk of the Universe. I expect we'll get quite a lot of information on this week's Talk of the Universe. Thursday, we'll have Expanding the Universe. No Chibi's Thursday Night Fights because of the Boss Ready Beatdown. There'll be streaming and tournaments all throughout the weekend. There will be no Sunday Night Fights on Sunday. No Sunday Night Fights Virtual Grand Gathering weekend. There will be matches, there will be tournaments, but no nightly show May 25th. If you're participating in Virtual Grand Gathering events, check the posts on the supershowthegame.com website to make sure you have the start times correct, to make sure you meet any deck list requirements, ask questions if you need to know what's going on. I'll be participating in quite a few of the events. I'll do my best to cover things. Hopefully I'll be able to do that without a hitch. And I'm looking forward to Virtual Grand Gathering. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I would like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.